There's a reason why we're given rights. And if you just give up those rights, you follow a government that is saying that you should give up those rights for someone else, then they're basically saying that these aren't rights. These are just privileges that you have that you can give up or keep. And as soon as a government makes these basic rights privileges, that becomes dangerous. Then your government can tell you when you do things or when you can't do things or when you can do things, and they regulate your basic rights. That is not right. That is not something that we believe in. Even something so simple as going to church, if it's safe, if there is no danger, and there is a safe environment for people to go to, people should have the right to choose whether they will go to church or not.
See, I do completely agree, because what it comes down to is if you set the precedent that the government gets to control what you can and can't do in any capacity as to what I'm doing is not intrinsically harmful of another person. I am not murdering you. I am not assaulting you. I am not causing you any physical pain of my own volition. My rights are still my rights. The moment I let the government take that away from me, the reason the Constitution was written the way that it wasn't because the government was giving us those rights. It was saying these rights can never be taken away. These are things we already have. These are things that we are already given, our God-given rights, as it's written in the Constitution. And the whole point was they cannot be taken away from us regardless of the circumstance.
Yeah, people are really, falling under these circumstances and willing to give them up at this moment, and I don't agree with that. I think that those are things that you need to hold on to even during these times, because once we come out of this, we are setting precedent for the future.
It's a matter of choice. How can you take that away from them? That is their right to go, and it is your right to stay. It is your right to stay home if you want to. It's their right to go and worship with the people that they want to worship.
It's not the same thing for, someone to go to church, social distance, stay safe, and for someone else who is like going to a COVID party, swap and spit with people, drinking and, kissing on other people they don't know and all this other stuff. Okay. They're not the same thing. They are wanting to stay safe. They are wanting to social distance and keep their family as well as themselves safe, and you safe if you do choose to go. When the state decides, no, you cannot have a church service, you cannot open your doors to people who want to come into your church during a pandemic, when the state decides when those doors need to be closed, should the church obey, or should the church decide to protest, to be Protestant, to decide to follow God's laws over man's laws? And the reality is that the Bible, the thing that we look to as a standard for our own lives, does teach that we are to obey God's laws over man's laws. And so even if there is a government mandate, even if it's against popular opinion, these are the things that we are called to do. We are called to join together and to be a family and to see our family, to take care of our family, to worship together as a family, to build a close relationship with our church family. And unfortunately, during these pandemic situations, it is, at best, very difficult to do that with all of these, social distancing measures, doing things over internet and Zoom and YouTube sermons and everything. And at worst, it is damaging to the relationships that we are wanting to build and wanting to do, the ministries that we want to move forward in, the training up of children who are at ages where making sure they're in a consistent community is so important, and learning those biblical principles is so important. It is near impossible to do what we are called to do under the, not rules, but under the calling of the Bible that we are called to do. And we just want to get back to doing that.